Today we're talking NGC and PCGS population reports. What are they and how to use them? In prior videos, I made references to the rarest Libertads in terms of mintage and also in terms of high grades for the two big grading companies, NGC and PCGS. And I do go to those reports to retrieve a lot of that information, and then I put them into a table, and from that I can start generating graphics. Just as a fun fact on how useful this information is to make inference, check out the 1991 Type 2 Libertad. So the last video I compared the Type 1 to the Type 2 and highlighted how rare the Type 2 is. And it's a little difficult when you start putting bar charts together. People don't believe the numbers as much, but when you have the concrete numbers, you could start to make some inference. And something I did really quick was compare how often NGC gives a high grade for the Type 2 submissions versus PCGS. And there's a pretty substantial standard. It does look like NGC is a lot stricter to hand out a 69. There are no 70s for that coin, that particular coin, but there are 69s both at PCGS and NGC. And NGC looks to be the superior one in terms of strictness of handing out those 69s, at least for the 1991 Type 2. Another highlight I've mentioned several times over, and it's pretty concrete here in terms of the grand total mintage of Libertads out there and how many total have been graded at NGC and how many at PCGS. And the figures are under 1%. I mean, NGC represents 0.3% of the total mintage of all Libertads across all years, and PCGS just 0.2%. So again, I want to highlight when I keep mentioning, folks should not chase high grades, the exception being that 2019 antiqued. Otherwise, chasing high grades is an expensive endeavor when the stats are running against you. All it takes is some folks, they take some Libertads out of the ice, out of the vault, and start submitting them, and a lot more 70s are going to pop up over time. Not worth where I've seen folks pay for some of these rare years. I believe it was the 2009 or something like that. An MS-70 came about and someone paid like $6,000 for it on eBay. It doesn't make sense. So the easiest way to retrieve these reports is just to quickly Google it. For NGC, you'd type in NGC 1 ounce silver onza population, and it should be one of the top results right there. It's in purple as I've clicked on it before. Similar Google lookup for a PCGS, just type in PCGS 1 ounce silver onza report. And for this one, it is actually at the very top. And then you just click on it and you'll have access to the report. This is what the NGC report looks like. As you can see, the most important features here on the left are essentially the year and the variety of the coin being submitted. So when you're seeing a variety here, folks are, when they're submitting, they're paying an extra $18 fee to get a variety designation. So there is a 1982 Silver Libertad, and then there's varieties folks have chased over the years. So I'll talk about that more in a lot of detail when I start going through each coin year by year in separate videos. But you have to pay, as a retail submitter, you have to pay $18 extra to have that variety attribution on the coin level. Otherwise, if you don't pay it, you just get a straight 82 on the label. So the year, the mintage, the variety, and then the most important, the total. How many total coins of that particular coin have been submitted thus far? And after that comes the details. In the past, you did not used to see these non-straight grade coins, essentially meaning clean coins. They were not on this report. They were not in the totals. They were kept in a separate compartment in a different report at NGC. But now they've been put together with the straight grades. And as we've discussed several times, the 70 is the top grade, 69, 68, so forth. You also want to make sure here on the top right, you're clicked on the mint state, not on proofs. If not, then it updates to show you the information for the proof coins for the 1 ounce Libertads. PCGS, much in the same way, has a lot of the same information. Here you actually click on the tab to make sure you're on mint state and none of the other designations. And then they actually have tabs where the NGC used to be similar in this nature, just a little more nuanced, where the detail grades, the clean coins, they were split apart from the straight grade of 60 to 70. And you have a lot of the same information here. The coin in terms of what year it is, if there's some type of variety designation, and now it's presented from the right side, the total number of coins submitted for grading, and then how many fell into each grade. That's all there. Thanks for checking out this video. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.